Everyone, to the 12th episode of the Stay Attached podcast. We are joined by the 2021 season MVP, the two-time world champion, the guy who's pretty much dominated all Cold War. I think won like 4 of the 6 events, something just absolutely insane. And what, 8 to 9 major wins? Which one is it?
I don't know, a lot of gas right now. But I think, I don't even know, probably not 8 or 9.
8 to 9.
Yeah,
it's close to double digits.
Yeah, either's fine with me. But that was some supreme gas.
Hey, I got you. But no, I appreciate you coming on the show. I'm very excited. We've never had, wait, have we had a two-time world champion on this show? I don't know if we've had a two-time world champion. Have we, Stream? I don't know. But this is going to be a really special one. And I'm very excited because this guy is the future of the Call of Duty League, consistently winning when he got in the league. And it doesn't look like he's slowing up anytime soon. So I appreciate you joining the show today. How's your day been so far?
It's been all right. I mean, on the East Coast, I think a lot of people got snowed in.
Yeah.
And today it was like the first real like first real snowstorm. Me and my girl have had at our new place, so it was definitely a ton of work to shovel like the driveway and stuff, which I don't think either of us were fully prepared for.
Yeah. Oh, dude, shoveling the driveway and doing all that stuff, like getting all the snow off your car and everything, that seems like such a hassle.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, I mean, we just have one car, so she just parks in the garage. So there's no snow on that, but
yeah,
the rest of it was just a mess. It literally took like 2 hours for us to we were literally just going hard in the paint. We were just working out in the driveway, literally just shoveling everything.
Yeah, bro, hey, it's all good though. Congrats on the house. And did you just like tweet out you got another house or something?
No. We haven't got a new house, but we've had this place since May.
Oh, okay.
Like halfway through last year.
Yeah.
And then we just have an apartment down in ATL for like the online matches and stuff.
Oh yeah. Are you still planning on flying down there for like the league matches and stuff?
Yeah, I think the easiest way to do it is just to try and book all the flights in advance, knowing the dates, and then just trying to get good deals and stuff because it do be adding up a little bit here and there. Sure. But I mean, it's the option I chose, so.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's all good. A couple super maxes, champs wins. You got that. You got that.
For sure.
So let's talk about when you were just a young kid, not really knowing like what video game you wanted to play or what you wanted to do, school, sports, your future career. What was the first ever video game that you played growing up?
First ever video game? I mean, one of the earliest that comes to mind is probably like a super early Mario Party that I used to play on like the GameCube with my dad and my brother. I mean, it had to be like Mario Party 2 or 3 or something like that. It was like one of the early ones. And I mean, it was kind of just like stuff like that kind of got me into gaming in general. Just, you know, my brother always had the newest consoles. He's 6 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
So he was already like ahead of the curve with like gaming in itself.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just came along just kind of following him up because we already had the consoles and stuff. So that's kind of what first got me into it.
Yeah. How old were you when you like first started like just playing video games in general?
I mean, I don't even know if I could walk. I was like 2 or 3 probably.
Oh, okay. So
I've been playing like COD since like 3 or 4 or like 5. So I've literally just been in the mix forever.
You've been playing Call of Duty since you were 3 or 4 like years old?
I remember playing COD 2. And,
Jesus.
You know, I was born in 2001, so someone do the math, and I couldn't have been too old for that one.
Well, that's actually insane. Wait, what was your first multiplayer Call of Duty game you played?
Probably like COD 4.
COD 4, yeah, same.
I mean, I played like COD 3, but I'm pretty sure COD 3 was like literally horse shit, if I remember.
I don't even remember playing that game, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was very like it was just the beginning stages of like getting multiplayer in.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that great, but I remember playing COD 4, and that was a bunch of fun. Back in the original one. Did
you play like just pubs, or did you just like get into game battles matches? What were you doing on COD 4?
Oh, I mean, I didn't really compete until way later. So I was just literally casual gaming for most of my life until I was like in middle school.
Yeah. And from that point, when you first started playing COD 4, when did you learn about like competitive Call of Duty?
I didn't learn on for a while. Probably early like Black Ops tour, like early Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, maybe a little bit after that, like Ghosts or AW. It was like right around Jetpack era when I started playing.
Oh, okay.
So probably around like Ghost-ish is when I started fully watching. Because it wasn't much after I started watching where like me and my friends started playing like game battles and stuff, just like on the free ladders and whatnot.
Yeah. And then so you started playing like was that like your friends from school or just like random people you met online or stuff?
At first, it was people from school, but I ended up I mean, a lot of the friends I made online were kind of from COD.
Yeah.
So I, it was kind of like a little bit of both. It was like some IRLs from school, and then it was also some of the online friends that we made just together, just trying
Yeah.
to, we were all just fans of Call of Duty, like competitively. So we were just trying to get into it and just start out.
Were you always just like way better than like your friends from school and stuff? Like you were that guy?
I don't think so. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I was good at like see. I started competing when the first new consoles started coming out, like not like after the 360 and after like
Okay, like the one, the
the
Xbox One.
PS3. Yeah, like the Xbox One and the PS4s, like because I remember playing Ghosts on like the 360, and then the Xbox One came out, and everyone like started switching
Yeah.
because it was just next gen.
Yeah.
And I remember that's when I first kind of did get into things because I was playing like 360 free ladder matches because I didn't have an Xbox One yet. And then we were just kind of playing like old games and stuff. Like we were playing like BO2 free ladders when like it was like towards the end of Ghosts and just like stuff like that, just like slowly easing our way into it.
Yeah. And then how did you learn about like local LAN events and when did you start going to those?
I honestly don't even remember how I learned about locals, but the first local I think I went to was like no, it was ETG 10. I remember it was at the Palisades Mall, and I think it was I think that's when locals really started popping off because I remember like every local I was going to was like one of the bigger locals at the time.
Yeah.
And so I remember just showing up to ETG 10 and I was just like mind blown. I was like playing with, French, like just kind of like randoms from online. Not randoms, but like, they were my friends, like,
Yeah. People you
um,
met.
just, yeah, when we first started competing. So we were showing up to this local LAN, not knowing a thing, not knowing literally anything about COD. We were showing up with like, remember with like the Astro Mixin you could just plug into your controller on the Xbox One? I remember my teammate literally showed up with that. I'm like, dude, like, you can't daisy chain with this. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
No way.
And we were
How'd you
just
get
breaking down, and
what?
we were borrowing Make Sam's entire event from people. No
Yeah.
bullshit.
Wait, but how'd you guys
Because
do?
I mean, we placed third that event actually, and I think
Oh,
that's
okay.
when, yeah, I mean, everyone was kind of expecting us to get shit on, but actually, you can probably hit up Reppin about this. I'm pretty sure I slammed him that event.
No
No bullshit.
way.
He
Jake
was
was
with
getting
I think
smoked.
he might have been with Brian and then Suda. No bullshit.
And then
But
that's
anyways,
ooh. I
yes,
gotta
that was
roast
my
him
first
about that.
local. That
And
was
then
definitely my first local.
when did you start becoming like after that were you just like a normal at those locals? 'Cause I know you started like dominating them from a span of time where like everyone knew they were going to local just to lose to you. So when did you start like dominating those? Like what was that like AW ish or a little bit after that?
It was kind of BO3-ish
Mm.
when I started actually winning locals. I was pretty much getting second place and most of them leading up, just because the way the locals were set up, it was kind of just like one stack team versus another stack team, and like the local person would split the bracket, put them on opposite sides, and then they'd meet up in finals like everyone knew they would.
Yeah.
And when we were still in AW, my team wasn't as good as or at least they didn't have as good chemistry as like Profizi and Pemby and them.
Mm.
I forgot who their other two were, but they were kind of just running the local scene at the time,
Yeah.
and they were always the people we were playing in finals. And honestly, they're probably like Pemby and Profizi are probably a big reason I'm even here today, just because going from those beginning locals and getting second, going into BO3, they kind of like picked me up into their circle.
Yeah.
Me and my friend Cross actually, he doesn't compete anymore, but his name is Marco. They picked us up, and that's when we started like actually getting like decent teams for locals and actually getting our name out there because once they kind of picked us up, they were like semi-pros at the time,
Yeah.
and I think that's what kind of gave my name a little bit of credibility.
And would you say Cross was like your duo on the come up, or did you have anyone that was there for you like through all the stages of you going to be a pro player, or like were you kind of like a lone wolf a little bit?
Not all the stages. I mean, it'll sound fucked up if I say it, but like you kind of have to move up,
Oh yeah, of course. You got to
and
climb the
some
ladder.
people are willing to sacrifice more than others. And like me, as I'm trying to make this my job, they necessarily weren't.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just I had to find people that dedicated more time. But yeah, like I would say Marco was probably my local duo all the way up until he stopped competing, or until I kind of just had a real solid squad. It was kind of like a mutual. He kind of had some family stuff going on. He kind of stopped competing
Yeah.
while I kind of got picked up into the bigger circle. So I mean, yeah, that's kind of just what happened. But I didn't really have a duo really the entire time. Like, not the same one at least.
Yeah. And then how much were you winning from those locals? Like each time you would get first, wait, was the prize pretty big?
Oh, I mean, it really depended the local because there were a couple of different locals. There was ETG, there was NJ Rod, and I think there was one named BBG Battle by Gamers, which I
Mhm.
don't think they stopped running events like after BO3 ish, if I remember correctly. But those were like the big three on the East Coast at the time. And I mean, I don't know. I was like 16, 17, and I was honestly making bank at these locals. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was straight
You're
robbing
cashing.
kids. I was straight robbing kids. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, Ozzy.
You were making your teacher salary just at local
Dude,
lands and going to school. Like how was that? How was like going to school and then going to locals and just cashing out and just being able to make that much money at such a young age?
oh, it was just weird because like I wasn't really like popular in school. I mean, I didn't really talk to anybody. I kind of just showed up to school, listened, did whatever, went home, and then just played COD was
Yeah.
basically my life. Or I'd like sleep and then wake up for like the S&D tournaments at night.
Hmm.
So I didn't really hang out with anyone. I didn't really talk to anybody. But no one really knew. I mean, people knew, but like my grade necessarily didn't know until like the end of our senior year, because I mean, I just started, I turned 18. I started kind of missing school and kind of went pro. So
Yeah.
that's when people kind of started catch on. But I feel like the weirdest thing is like the grade below me, the juniors were like all mega fans. It was like the weirdest thing. Like, dude, I was literally getting called like simp in school by like that entire grade. I was literally losing full. It was funny. It was cool.
No, yeah, that's the same thing that would happen to me. Like people would say, like before people really knew I was like a pro player, they would just call me attached. And every time someone would call me attached, I would lose flow. I'd be like, yo, don't call me attached. Like I don't want people to know I'm a gamer. Cause like back then gaming wasn't like cool yet. Like not everyone would gamed and talked about
Yeah.
it and everything. Like, it wasn't the cool thing to do yet. I'd say like kind of in 2015, 2016, 2017, that's when it started getting like more normal. And now everyone just talks
Yeah.
about gaming. There's pro athletes, there's rappers, there's actors, like literally everyone in the world talks about gaming. So it's just completely normal now to
Yeah, for
talk about
sure.
it. But I was
No, it's
definitely
definitely different
embarrassed.
now.
I was
Wait, yeah.
definitely
I mean,
embarrassed.
you're telling me my name is Simp. Like, I got people in school calling me Simp. I'm like, dude, like, you gotta stop, man.
It's simplicity.
Like,
It's simplicity.
and I wish it was. I mean, I kind of wish it was, but it was a little too long.
Yeah.
And at locals, people just started calling me Simp because it was shorter.
Yeah.
And I don't think really it was intended to be used in like a bad way at the time, just because I don't think anyone really like really gave a
Used
shit.
it, used it like it's used now
Yeah,
to where like if you say, oh hey, if you say to some girl, hey, you're nice, oh my god, you're a fucking simp, or like you say anything nice to
literally.
anyone, you're a fucking simp. But like that's
Yeah.
just
So I kind of got unfortunate timing
it's all
with,
good.
but it's all good. I mean,
People search your name up, you
it's
get
its own thing.
famous.
Yeah, literally. I mean, that's the way I thought of it. Like, yeah, you can think of it like, yeah, it's kind of like a negative thing, but like, it's also gonna get searched up like hella.
Yeah.
And also like, I just feel like it's definitely easier to like brand it with it being more so not just one word
Yeah.
or like one definition, I guess.
I think it's always better to like go with the meme or the joke that's happening because when you try and go against it, like people just do
It
it
just gets
more and
worse.
more and
It just
more,
gets
and then you
worse.
start losing more fool. But if you just go with it and you don't really care, like it's good, it's fun, you laugh it off, and then you just
Yeah.
kind of keep going from there. But going back to like talking about Call of Duty, what would you say is your favorite Call of Duty game for Search and Destroy?
I mean, I'm gonna be biased with this answer, but probably like, I mean, I will. Let me start off by saying I didn't really compete in any of the older CODs,
Yeah,
so I kind of grew up seriously competing in the jetpack era, and I thought BO3 S&D was like fire. Like, I feel like BO3 was the last, like the real last S&D where you could like, I don't know. It's just weird to describe. Like, I feel like thinking was a lot more involved. Like, yeah, before jetpacks, but I feel like
yeah.
BO3 was the real last one where like you can actually make good plays and like actually think of situations. Like, I feel like it's a lot harder to do that in the current CODs.
Oh no, definitely. I mean, I think BO3 is probably a top three or top three, top four SND, especially. I think it's definitely the best jetpack SND easily.
Yeah.
I think Ghost is really fun too. BO3 was godlike, like playing wagers and tournaments. I know you had your little crew in BO3. You guys were like running tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
Who was your
Boys.
team? Who was your squad?
I mean, the OG squad, we used to call ourselves it was between the Goat Gang or the No Name Gang. Both
The
terrible
GOAT
fucking
game.
names, by the way, terrible names. But it was me and at the time before Preston like Priest had turned 18, he was like my S&D duo.
Oh
And we
shit.
so we were kind of running around. Well, I mean, it's like a complicated story, but like me and Preston were playing tournaments, and then it was Major Maniac and Turn Up Too Easy who were also the squad, and they kind of hit up Preston to play a threes tournament, and because Preston was like my duo at the time, I kind of got dragged in as the fourth.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of weird how it all kind of like happened, but that's how our team was made. I mean, everyone knew it was his XO, like me, Turn Up and Major. But yeah, that was like the beginning S&D squad. It wasn't for long though, because Preston turned 18 like right after I started competing.
Do you know how many golds you won in BO3?
Probably all the ones I have now. I mean, I didn't play. I feel like there weren't a lot of tournaments out. I mean, there were, but they started, with CMG and everything. I feel like tournaments really started to die down. So I probably have like overall like maybe like 75 to 100 golds.
Okay, that's solid.
But I wouldn't do much more than that, just because I only really seriously grinded S&D like that 1 year.
Oh, okay. So you kind of always kept your eyes on like competitive respawn variant modes?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know. I didn't really want to be an S&D star, but the age limit kind of pushed me into it. Like right when I first wanted, like I wanted to take competing seriously when BO3 came out.
Oh,
and then when BO3 came out, the 18 plus rule came out, which was understandable, but was also kind of like bullshit.
Oh, it just sucks. It sucked for everyone that wasn't old enough.
It sucked, like honestly, really bad. Because especially after BO3, S&D really died, and locals kind of did too. Like the locals there weren't as many as there were anymore. So there wasn't really much for me to grind anymore. And it honestly was like, I don't want to use the word depressing, but like it was definitely like sad for me to be like stuck in a spot where I couldn't really control. Like I couldn't control anything. Like I kind of had to wait to turn 18. I had to wait to compete. And the entire time I kind of just felt like, I was good enough to do it.
Yeah. Your talent was just kind of like wasting away.
Yeah. It definitely took a mental toll on me those couple of years. But I also, I don't know. I feel like I was definitely a lot more I mean, I'm introverted now, but I feel like I was a lot more introverted then. And I was also like always worried about how I looked and like how people thought of me and this and that. And I feel like it all kind of like just came together. But, I kind of learned it's a good thing. Like you can get your name out there, you can stream, and that's what I ended up doing. And I started running locals, I started getting my name out there, and as soon as I turned 18, my name was out there ready to get picked up.
Yeah. And now you're comfortable on camera with streams, interviews. You're handsome. You're good at talking.
Oh,
so now it's just easy for you. It's just easy for you now.
I'm trying. I don't know about the handsome part, but I'm doing my best
to
you're not be a social weirdo.
Yeah, you're handsome. You're handsome.
I appreciate that.
What's it called? When did you know in your life that you wanted to be like a professional COD player? Like when did that switch flip? Yeah, there we go.
Oh, it was probably BO3. I think BO3 was kind of just the game overall where everything kind of clicked for me.
Yeah.
Like, cause like I said, like I think BO3 is probably to this day my best COD, and
Jesus,
I wasn't able to compete in
that. That is very scary to know. Good thing you weren't competing in BO3.
Yeah, I just feel like Jetpack CODs had really. I just feel like the skill gap in jetpacks was a lot higher than just ground CODs, because you had movement. You had to control your movement, your shot, your comms, and like everything that you do now, but with an extra layer because of movement. So I just feel like it was so easy to kind of individually take over in jetpack CODs, and I think I was super good at doing that. But I mean, I didn't really compete against I didn't compete in league matches. I didn't compete in CWL events. I didn't do any of that, so I can't necessarily say. I can't gauge well enough if how good I was at that game. But I thought I was really, really good at the game.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you would have been disgusting, because I mean, you went pro and he's fucking has been shitting on everyone ever since. So I'm assuming you would have been fucking disgusting at that game as well when it came to variant. And like you said with jetpack games and Call of Duties, you could definitely outskill people way more in those games than like the boots on the ground games, where you can like outposition people and outsmart people, and sometimes you can outgun them and outskill them. But like in those games, you could do it like a lot more consistently. Like if they were burgers, they were whiffing their shots while you're flying through the air and wall running, dashing. So it was
Yeah, there was just so
definitely,
much to keep up with and
yeah,
think about. I just thought I thought BO3 was so unique.
yeah. And then you got signed to the eUnited cadet team. What game? What game did you get signed to them in?
I think it was World War II.
World War
I'm
II.
pretty sure it was World War II.
Did you grind that game a lot?
Not really. I mean, outside if you weren't in the league, if you weren't playing respawn, I mean, it was kind of ass.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, SND was kind of dead. This was like World War II was really part of the time when the local scene was starting to be BS. Because at this point, the local scene, I was literally getting my team stripped away from me because of how many events I was winning in a row. And they came up with this whole tier system for me because I was literally on like a 30-win streak. And if I won with the set 4, we're all now officially tier 3s. And no tier 3s, or like, we're all tier 1s. And no tier 1 can team with like another tier 1. You have to be with tier 3s. So I literally had to go find like Jimmy Bob Jr. and his plumbing uncle to come help me out at this local. And that's when it started to get like a little bit fugazi for me.
Yeah, you were just getting it. Like there was another team that was probably like stacked, and then it's just you and 4 people or 3 people you found off the street that they just wanted to play that day.
Yeah, and I mean it was fun like winning with new teams because I still won like a few events in a row with like separate lineups. But then like it got to the point where I didn't have many options anymore, and I'm just like, well, this is like, what am I supposed to do now? Like everyone else is having the time of their lives, and I can't even go to this local because no one wants to show up because I'm shitting on them.
You're literally begging people at the mall, hey, you know Call of Duty? You want to come play this tournament real quick? Odds are we'll win, so you should come upstairs.
Dude, literally.
But yeah,
I mean, there wasn't much to grind in World War II, so not much.
And then who was on that roster? It was like you, Illy.
It was me, Illy, Celium, and Turnup.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of like the scraps of who wasn't 18, because like, I forgot who was their 4th in like Cell and Ender squad, but I know Dashy was a part of them. And then
Solidus won.
Competing.
I think Solidus won.
I think he just chalked God. I don't even remember.
I think he like still plays. I've seen his name like in this game. I think
he came back.
Yeah, I think he came back.
18, so he chalked in, then he came back when he was 18.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, Dashy turned 18 and he went and played. He was on Complexity, I think, that year. And then, me and Turnup like Major and I forgot who else. But they went to go variant too.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was like Mike, Teddy. I think I forgot.
I think it was Pock and all them trying to like go play respawn because they saw S&D was dying. So we were like, all right, well, we can't do that yet. We're not 18, so what do we do? And then we kind of just did the best we could with not many S&D tournaments.
Yeah. And you were still on that United like Academy team through World War II and during Black Ops 4. Did you think like you were going to get called up to the main United roster like at any point, or what was kind of like your thought process while we were there? Like, what were you trying to do? Were you trying to just wait for your moment and get picked up by another team, or did you really want to play on like United one day?
Well, I mean, funny story you actually asked that, because that year when I did turn 18, the plan wasn't exactly to join United off the rip, because at the time they were looking like a pretty decent team. I think I don't remember which like the order of the events, but they did like decent the first event. And they got second, I think. And then I think it went like to T16, then like T32 or something like that. And they literally got like they didn't make it out of groups or some bullshit. And I think after that, that's when I was kind of like, all right, maybe this is doable. But right when I turned 18, I think I was kind of just trying to get my hands on any league team.
Yeah.
I think the only real offers I had though was I mean, it wasn't, I don't know how real it was, but I'm pretty sure Gen G was like down to maybe pick me up. I don't even know who. I don't know. I don't even remember the situation. But I remember like before I got picked up on United, I'm pretty sure Gen G was like the only other possibility. But it wasn't even like, I don't even think it was like anything in my control.
Yeah. Damn, I should have told FaZe to pick you up for sure. That would have been a great pickup right there.
No, you guys had to pick up MC.
We got MC, and then we didn't call her the Pro League.
And they said nice tries. We'll get them next time.
We didn't call her the Pro League. Tough scenes, but this podcast ain't about me. It's about you. So what was that moment like when you got that call to join United? You must have been like insanely hyped.
Oh, I for sure was. I mean, it was a back and forth. It was super complicated actually to kind of get me on the team at first, because I think at first they told me I was going to be on the team. And then they kind of like went back on it for like a day or two, like right after. And I was kind of like bummed out because I was like, what the fuck?
You're like, what the fuck?
You guys just said I'm picked up and now I'm not. So
yeah.
And I was like, all right. And then I don't know what happened, but then I think I got picked up.
Yeah. I think I remember that team was having like the internal collapse where Clay hated Cap. They were roasting each other and everything was just falling apart. So it was just
Yeah, I
not a
think
good
that's when they were
moment for
starting to
them.
get slammed at events.
Yeah.
I think it was all in that same timeline.
And then what was your first event as a pro player?
My first event was CWL London,
Mm,
which was honestly, it was the first time I was out of the country, I think. I'm pretty sure that was the first time I was ever out of the US.
yeah.
And I was just shook, dude. Life was moving. So, I literally just turned 18, just got picked up. I'm flying to fucking London. I was like, holy. And then during all this, like, I wasn't even like technically allowed to like leave as much school time as I was.
Yeah.
So like during this whole time I'm competing, like Burns, who was like our general manager, my guidance counselor, and like the dean of my school all had to be like talking to each other at all times because in our school, I forgot what it was called. I think it was called a DLT. If you missed like
Mm,
2 weeks, then you technically like can't you like failed the class. So if you miss like 2 weeks worth of periods in that class,
yeah.
then you just have to like do summer school. And I'm like, well, I got to be out of like school for like a week at a time for like just the online league in general,
Yeah.
or the remember that you remember the BO4 league?
Yeah, yeah, where we go to
The
Columbus and
apartments.
stuff.
Yeah. I'm like, well, this isn't gonna fucking work because I'm about to miss like 2 months. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, hopefully I graduate. But it ended up I just had to make up a little bit of gym time, like go in the mornings and just like run laps, and then I just made up my work at home and stuff,
Yeah.
and everything worked itself out.
So like the school was like pretty helpful with you like trying to make sure you don't like have to do summer school and stuff. Like they were good.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, assuming how most teachers would be, I think they were super supportive,
Yeah.
just because um they didn't like say no. They like actually like worked with Burns and me on it,
Yeah.
and it was just a stressful situation to be in because on one hand, yeah, I wanted to compete, but at the same time, I didn't want to throw away my high school diploma for it.
Yeah.
So it was just weird. It was a weird situation.
Yeah, especially with how much we were traveling back in those days. Like I think when I was in high school and competing, I think I missed like 60 to 70 days senior year.
Jesus.
So, and because we were traveling a lot too, and then even in Black Ops 4, like you said, we'd go away from a week for weeks at a time in Ohio,
Yeah.
then going to an event over the weekend, and we'd leave on what, like Wednesday, and then we'd get back on like Monday. So that's like 4 days right there. You're missing every single time you go to
Yeah.
an event, not even counting the pro league. So that was actually really cool of your school to like help out and make sure they weren't like assholes
Yeah, I was
about
definitely
it.
blessed.
Yeah, they weren't like,
Because
no,
like
you
some
fail.
teachers, yeah, some teachers can be assholes in
Yeah.
like some schools.
Is there anything you remember from like your first event that you still think back to that to this day? You're like, wow, this was like so cool that this happened.
I just think the entire first event experience was crazy to me, to be honest. Because like going into it, I didn't really have expectations because it was my first event.
Yeah.
But I mean, the London crowd that year was probably one of the best crowds still.
Oh yeah, they're
That
crazy.
like
They're
the energy
crazy.
I feel like was crazy that I felt. And especially because like that event, I don't remember why. I don't think the fans liked 100 Thieves.
Mm.
I think it might have been a control thing. I don't even remember. But something
No,
just happened and like the fans were against 100T. And I remember when we were going up in finals, it really felt like we were like it was like us against like the world. Or not against the world, like the opposite, I guess. It was probably them against the world.
yeah.
Because like everybody was like so like with us. And it was just like it was such a wild experience to have for my first event.
Yeah, and I think I remember on Gridlock you were just hitting some insane snipes, and every time you did, the crowd was just going crazy. So
Yeah, the Paladin was definitely that
yeah,
game was fun, man. That
dude,
game was fun.
I'm excited. I hope we can go back to London for some events soon because they always bring a different type of energy. You got people dressed up in beer can outfits. They're chugging beers. They're chanting. They are just so much fun, and it makes competing so much more fun when people are just
Yeah, I
going
agree.
nuts. And like I feel like they just like to watch good Call of Duty. They don't hate anyone. Like they'll cheer against you, but then the next moment they'll cheer for you. So it's like they're just hella cool, and
Yeah.
it's just so much fun competing out there. So hopefully one day soon we'll be able to go back out there and
Yeah.
just
It'll be nice
experience.
to just be able to have normal events again
Yeah,
and just do the normal bullshit.
yeah.
It'll be lit.
And then after that event, I think you guys like went to Anaheim. You got like 6 or something, and then after that you went to playoffs, and that's when the magic happened at playoffs.
Yeah.
How did it feel to win your first ever event? Like going into that, were you super confident you were winning, or were you just kind of like, all right, this is another event, let's just see what happens?
Well, I mean I think it's the same event, but I'm pretty sure that event we were almost. I think we were like literally that close to like losing in like losers round like 2 or like 1, because I don't. I think it's the same. No, that was London actually. Um, Playoffs. I don't think we were as confident. Well, we were definitely confident, but not as confident as we were for champs.
Yeah,
Like we definitely saw how much of our practice was helping us, and I also think we knew like we were kind of just like really good at the game, if that makes sense. Like we just had like just confidence in general.
yeah,
So after Anaheim, I think we went over a bunch of shit, and I think we really just got a lot of fundamentals down, and that's when we really started to take off. Is when we started like really work with each other and just work as a team.
yeah. Damn, that was crazy. You ended Clay's 1,500-day streak or 1,400-day streak of not winning. So I'm sure he was definitely thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and even like just winning, like I'll still remember to this day like how it felt,
Yeah,
because I remember we lost the first best of 5, and we were just, I mean, I think I was raging if I remember correctly, not raging, but like rant talking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
just saying the bullshit that doesn't need to be like said at the time. And then we went to the back and we were talking, and we were like, listen, man, like, let's just big dick them on their best map right here on, I think it was Seaside Hardpoint at the time for the
yeah,
first map. And I think we just came out with the literal fire the second series. And honestly, it was just like a really good series out of us. Like we beat them on Seaside, which we basically big dick there for like best map. And then, you know, S&D's S&D can go either way. But we
yeah,
were like one of the really good S&D teams too at the time. And then you go to game 3, Control, and we've been known for Control for basically like since BO4.
yeah.
So I mean, that was kind of like an insta dub, but I mean, it just felt crazy. I remember like my stomach. I don't even know how to describe it. It was like my stomach just dropped, and I've never had a ship feel the same way as this one. But like my stomach dropped. I remember looking at Clay. Like it was just such a euphoric moment of like, holy shit, we actually did this.
Yeah.
Because you know Clay, like you said, Clay didn't win in like 6 years. Like it was getting bad for my
It was,
guy.
yeah. The community was on his ass. I remember the community was like,
Yeah.
Clay's never gonna win again. He hasn't won in
Everyone was
years.
roasting him. Everyone
Yeah.
was roasting him. You know, Tyler, he got second, I think, during the year, and
Yeah.
it was his first chip. Alec and Preston, it was their first chip.
No. They won an IW.
They
won an
I remember
IW.
they were waving off the fans. I remember that.
Yeah.
That shit was comedy it was with long hair Pierce, I think, right?
Yeah. Long hair. He had the mullet. He had the mullet.
Pierce. That was Pierce was typical back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just so surreal. Like, you know, Clay literally like threw me across the stage. Like he picked me up, and you know, I'm like, he's like literally like double my height, so he just picked me up. It was like easy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
Nah, yeah. I mean, it's especially winning your first event with a crowd like that, and then I think you guys won like what, like $50,000 each as well, like insane amount of money to win for your first event. That must have
Yeah,
just
I
been
think it was
like crazy.
Yeah, I think it was technically it was like playoffs for like the season
Yeah.
technically. So it was like a big prize pool, and then I think it was like, I don't even know what it was for champs, but it was like a major prize pool for the playoffs that wasn't like it for majors.
Yeah. And then going into champs, like, were you just feeling super confident going into that tournament after that one win?
Yeah, I think after playoffs, I think all of us knew in the back of our heads we were going to win champs as
Yeah.
long as we just played how we did.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we showed up to champs, and I don't even remember having like a real competition. Like I just don't remember a match being like really that hard where we were like, damn. I remember, I think probably the most stressful match was like finals or like the optic match,
Yeah.
which might have been like semis.
Nah,
Oh,
yeah.
no. I think optic was quarters, and then we played units in semis. Because I remember, I think units had like a free bracket, and then they played us, and I literally hork slammed all of them like over and over again. Literally put them on a montage.
Oh, nah, yeah. That clip gets tweeted like every single day. That sniper clip, the 4-piece.
Yeah, I'm definitely not helping the sniper conversation. That's for sure. People love that shit.
Oh yeah, they're like, that's saving COD right here.
Yeah.
What's it called though? Was there a moment that weekend, like after you won a certain match, where you're like, okay, we are winning this tournament? Because I've had that a couple of times. Where I'm just like, oh, after we win this match,
EG.
we're winning this tournament.
Oh yeah, EG was the hard match. I remember that now. I think after the EG match in our groups.
Yeah, those guys were good too, huh?
Yeah, because it was cap. I'm pretty sure. Just because it was cap, we were like, oh shit, they're gonna go fucking hard because of the rivalry here.
Nah, those guys were really
I'm
good.
pretty sure pretty sure that match was hella close, and I think after that, and then we got out of that was still in groups. I'm pretty sure.
No, I think that
So
was
after we got
bracket.
out of
I think that was bracket. I was watching
was
that.
that first round of bracket?
I think it was second round of bracket. I remember watching that match. Like those EG guys were like
Oh, I think we played them
really
twice. We
good.
played them twice. I'm pretty sure because I feel like I remember playing them once in groups.
No, I
But
don't
I do
think
remember them
so.
playing on stage now.
I don't
do
think
remember them playing
so.
on stage now.
'Cause I think EG was in Optics group for that event. But no, those guys were good, bro. Like you had to watch out for those EG guys.
They were those guys showed up in champs.
Yeah, no, they showed up during the big time matches. Like those guys were crazy. So you guys, wasn't it in like winners finals or something? You guys played Optic, and you guys had like a crazy comeback on map 2.
I think it was a 2-5
Ooh,
or 3-5
ooh.
on what was the map with the outer cliff?
Oh. What was that map?
You know,
It was a dark map.
payload.
Yeah, payload.
Pretty sure we played him on that map.
Yeah, I just remember someone on the other team had like a Tempest or something.
Yeah,
And you guys, yeah.
Yep. That map was definitely, dude. I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't even know. I'm like, dude, like remembering shit from those events is like so hard. I feel like I just like blank.
Yeah.
You know, events just to me like, and like besides the dub part of it, kind of just like the matches kind of blur.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I can remember like things if like you as you bring things up, I'm literally like gaining memories.
you're like
no bullshit.
It's like something that's making you just remember it. You're unlocking a memory again.
Yeah.
I mean, back then we played so much Call of Duty too. Like you had the pool play,
so many matches,
and then you had all the bracket. Like nowadays you play 4 matches total and you win an event. Back in the day you were playing 3 matches a day at minimum. So there was just so many matches. They just like blend together and stuff. But then you went back to back and won the ring. Like, what was the feeling after you won the ring? You're just like, fuck, like, I'm the best shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, I think that's kind of how you have to feel after you win champs. You're like, holy shit, we actually were the best this year. And then I just remember, like, that year was just, like, weird because we celebrated our win. And then we went to our owner's house because he had a home in LA. Or, yeah, I think it was, like, near the area.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had like a party there and then we did our media interviews there. And it's just weird because, you know, franchising was the next year.
Yeah.
So like we all kind of had like one-on-one conversations of like whether or not like the team was sticking. Cause like, yeah, we can like celebrate the dub, but then like it was like right into like
the CDL. Yeah.
Like it was kind of like the same with I think I've heard Clay talk about it, how like after they won champs within like MW, it was like not even like a day or two before like roster shit was happening because of the deadlines or whatever.
Yeah,
so
you're back to
like
stressing.
like, yeah, you can enjoy it for like a little bit, but then you know you got to go back to reality and kind of just keep it pushing.
Yeah, and then going into the from the Black Ops 4 season into the MW season, and with franchising becoming new, I'm sure you were literally at the top of everyone's radar. Everyone in the world probably wanted to pick you up. Did you have like a bunch of offers that almost went through? Like, did you ever join a team before you decided on joining Atlanta FaZe?
No, I didn't. I never really committed to anything besides Atlanta FaZe.
Yeah.
I will say that the only real people I talked to in the off season were like Abizi, because right after I was like, listen, man, we gotta stick together. Like we gotta find the home wherever it is. And as weird as it sounds, like I was talking to Slash a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I was trying, I like at the time I was like, meet you, Tyler, we can make this shit work. Yada yada yada. Normal, team.
Yeah, roster.
Whatever.
Yeah, roster mania.
It didn't really go that far. It was kind of just like, all right, like you see what orgs you can talk to. We'll see who we can talk to. We'll go from there.
Yeah.
But it never really went further than that. But besides teams, like actual or like franchise that I talked to, I did talk to the subliners a little bit. I went to the city and like had like a whole meeting with them and everything.
Yeah.
And then I talked to Florida a little bit, but neither of them were sounding as confident on what they were doing. So I was kind of like iffy about it because like there were just certain things that they were telling me that I didn't like. So I was kind of just stuck on those 2 options. And then I remember I think Tyler got hit up by Preston and Mike, I think, or MC or like someone. And it was like, yo, we got Crowder and RJ, like we're trying to get this God squad over here in Atlanta. We want you and Simp if possible. And I'm pretty sure we were like one of the first teams to be like fully signed, like the earliest, because I remember
Yeah.
we were leaked like literally like so early, and like nothing ever changed, which is like basically how it goes. But yeah, I mean, it was mainly just like Mike. I don't even remember who the initial was, but I probably gotta give Crowder all the props of like putting the team together,
Yeah.
because I'm sure you know him, but he's a mastermind. So
Oh yeah, I mean he put
I
so
love
many.
my guy Chris.
Yeah, no, he's that guy. Like he put so many people on to become professional players. Like first
Yeah,
he picked up Classic, who was just his friend in real life, who kind of played competitive COD, not even really. Picked up Zuma, picked up me, and then just
picked up Cell.
Yasel, even Preston when Preston joined our team
Yeah,
first in World War II. Like
nah,
he's he gives
he
so
knows
many people
talent.
chances. Yeah, and then he just knows
Yeah.
talent because pretty much all the people he has picked up have been champions and won multiple events,
Oh shit. Oh shit.
if not world champs as well. So I mean, Chris Crowder, that's the goat. Got an eye for talent. I meant Brian Saint and Daniel Looney are a little bit better, but we still love Chris. We still love Chris.
All love around any coach. Any coach is loved for sure.
Oh yeah, and then going into that MW year, I mean, you guys had a fucking disgusting squad. Great coaches with RJ and Chris.
Yeah.
How like that was a pretty solid year for you guys. Like, what would you say is like your highest and lowest point of that year?
Well, I feel like online was kind of the demise of
Yeah,
us that year. I feel like as soon as things kind of went online, just the whole vibe of the game kind of got less serious, which I'm sure you can probably feel the same way. Like, just because COVID was so unexpected and like
yeah,
all this stuff was happening so fast, everyone was kind of just like, at least we're competing and like not just doing nothing. I mean, that's at least how I felt. Like, or like it's not like we weren't trying, but I feel like the just the seriousness of it got a little bit taken out
yeah,
because we're playing. Like I was playing matches at home at the same setup I scrimmed at like every single day,
yeah.
and to me it just didn't feel as serious as it did in like a tournament environment or like in a facility with like the rest of my team or like any of that. So, I mean, I don't know. We got second a lot that year.
Yeah, I think you guys won like a couple home series. You got second at champs, and you probably
Yeah.
got second like 2 or 3 other times during
Yeah.
those home series. It was still like not a bad year. Obviously, it's not
No,
first,
for
and
sure.
you want to get first every single event. But with COVID,
No, for sure, not a bad year.
yeah, it was really just tough too, because like we're used to going on the main stage. There's bright lights, a lot of people, thousands of people watching the streams, to
Yeah.
playing for hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars, and then you're just playing in your bedroom. So like it's hard to just replicate that hype and that feeling of when you go on main stage. You just can't. Like it's just not possible.
Yeah.
So like it's hard to get into that mindset where you're just like, yo, like this is fucking it. Like this is the moment. We got to go hard. But yeah, it was definitely very unexpected with COVID. But it was cool that we at least had something to look forward to playing. People had
Yeah.
something to look forward to watching. So like shout out to the CDL for being able to put that season on, because so many businesses and leagues just shut down completely and stopped. So we were lucky that we had
Yeah.
some at least to like keep us occupied during that time, because yeah, that time fucking it definitely sucked. And I mean, we're still feeling some of the effects of it today. At least we're slowly but surely getting back to normal. And then going into Cold War, when it went back to like 4v4, you guys had your roster when it was you, Abizi, Alec, and Cell. What is like how did you guys just dominate so much? Like how, I just don't understand. Did you guys just, what were you guys doing?
I mean, I feel like last year I think our preparation last year was probably like light years ahead of like what other teams are doing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like very early on we kind of had like, I mean, I don't think anyone really knows this, but we had like a team breakdown like during a scrim like at the beginning of the year. And I don't know if it was before kickoff or after kickoff, but like, we lost like the kickoff match to Florida,
Yeah.
and yada yada happens. But like there was a scrim where like we were just like raging at each other, and like we all like, some of us thought one thing, some of us thought the other, and I feel like that day like was probably the turning point for the rest of the year, because from that day on, like we were just very vocal with each other about like how we were feeling about certain situations, like team vibes, like this or that. Like there was no like one person kind of saying anything. It was like everyone giving their 110%, like their insight, like what they want to do,
Yeah.
and just effort level. So I just feel like last year, like, I mean, obviously, like our gun skill and our chemistry help.
It helps a little bit, but
Yeah, it
like,
definitely helps.
yeah,
But I think like we really were probably the most prepared out of anyone last year, and I think it definitely showed.
yeah. I mean, you guys won what, like 4 out of the 6 majors, and counting champs as well last year. So
Yeah,
that's some insane dominance. That's not really happened in Call of Duty. Maybe one other time happened throughout a season, but that was just insane. And especially with like all the talent and how everyone says like now is the toughest time to be a professional Call of Duty player because like only the best of the best are
yeah,
winning, and like it's just so competitive right now because so many people are trying to do it. And it's everyone's job, a job now is Call of Duty. Like it's not like people are going to school, working other jobs. Like everyone's all they focus on all day is Call of Duty. So that's why it's just so
yeah.
competitive. And then
No, it's definitely the best of the best now.
yeah,
So like especially with franchising only being 12 teams, I feel like the group of players got very limited.
yeah,
So hopefully expansion will come one day, and we'll get more teams, more players, and just more people getting their name like shined on. Because I feel like
yeah.
there's a lot of people out there that could definitely be in the league, but there's just not enough spots yet. So
Yeah, no, we're all hoping and praying for expansion because that would be amazing to just have more teams come in, more opportunities, more people that can go pro and just make careers and everything. So hopefully next season, some expansion teams do come in. But I want to ask about what happened after Major Five going into Champs because you guys obviously didn't have a good Major Five that you were expecting.
yeah.
But what did you change or do before Champs to make sure you guys were back on point? Because some teams I'm sure would have crumbled, but you guys went above and beyond and won.
Well, I'm not sure about how the league matches were showing before our Major Five, but we just couldn't really win a hard point to save our lives. And it was really just making every series go to like game 5
Mm,
because we couldn't win a hard point. So we were already down 0-2.
yeah,
And I mean, Major 5 had showed that like, Seattle wasn't a bad team, but we were definitely way better than them.
yeah,
And the fact that we lost, I mean, I think we went 0-4 in hard points that event.
mm,
And the fact a team like us was doing that was just really unacceptable. So after Major 5, we just went back and really just fixed our hard point because our other two game modes were still looking like really dominant.
yeah,
I don't think there was ever a point where our control wasn't good or like our S&D wasn't good because I feel like those modes are like very chemistry based and we were just very on top of it throughout the year.
yeah,
But hard points, we had a really big problem of kind of just like staying down and like not working with each other and just making the other team, work for the win. We were kind of just
yeah.
giving out free kills, free hills, free breaks, whatever. So that's kind of what we fixed. And I think going into champs, we were super confident we fixed it and kind of just we're so confident that we were going to win.
Yeah, and even going back to like Black Ops 4, I remember you was talking about control. Do you feel like control is just you and your team is just the best at it every single year?
I wouldn't say every single year. I just think it's very chemistry oriented
Yeah,
and it's very much like working with your teammates on like certain situations because I feel like in control you can do whatever you want to control.
yeah,
But if you're doing it by yourself and your teammates are doing things by themselves, your team's gonna get slammed very quickly.
for sure.
So I just feel like we were very good with our chemistry.
Yeah. And then after what? After Black Ops 4 1, Black Ops 4, MW, Cold War. So you've only been pro for 3 games? For like 3 total
Yeah, I
games?
think this is my fourth game. Pretty sure.
Jesus Christ, that's scary.
Time's moving fast.
Dude, it is going fast. But I mean, you've been racking up the winnings, racking up the earnings, because you're already at a million plus, right? Earnings?
Yeah, I mean it's a little, they're definitely handing out more money nowadays. So
Oh,
it's
yeah, of
definitely I'm
course.
definitely climbing the ranks faster.
Yeah. And
But
yeah.
I was gonna say hopefully I can keep getting chips.
Oh, for sure. I
'Cause
mean,
I feel like everyone just looks at chip count.
yeah, that
And it's
is
like you can only get like 2 a year.
that is the most important part. And then I'm sure if COD's still around 10, 20 years from now, winning a major then is going to be like winning $150,000, $200,000 for each player.
Oh,
So
for sure.
it's just going to
It'll be
keep getting
crazy.
inflated. And but it is what it is. You got to dominate while you're still playing. And you've been dominating ever since you got into the pro scene. Do you think there's anything like that you do specifically that helps you consistently stay at that top level? Because you don't just stay at the top, you dominate and win so much every single year and you perform so well. Like, is there anything that you could tell people to do if they're looking to do what you do?
I mean, I just want to say like, there's a lot of not pretty things to this job. Like my entire time growing up, I've dedicated, my time to sit inside and kind of just grind video games.
Yeah.
And personally, I feel like that's made me like naturally talented at video games over time. So it definitely helps out. But if you wanna compete in COD, you got to be willing to dedicate yourself to this. Like this can start as a hobby, but if you want to take it serious, you're gonna have to dedicate a lot of your time to it, a lot of your resources, and just take it super serious. Because if you're trying to make this, a profession, and it's not something you're gonna put 100% towards there's someone else out there that's gonna be doing 110%.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna take your spot. So that's what I think about this. Just make sure you're willing to give it all to be a COD pro.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, everyone's trying to just compete to be the best and win all the chips, money, all that good stuff. But thinking about like your career so far, it's been great, obviously. But is there something that you still want to achieve? Like, what would be your biggest goal before you end up retiring?
I mean, I want to have the most rings for sure. Which, I mean, if our team sticks throughout, if our team sticks as long as I think it will, then all of us will probably have, the most rings in general, just because if we win them together. But I don't even know.
Wait, how old are you right now?
I'm turning 21 in like a week.
Turning 21, and then
the big 2-1 in a week.
You're gonna be an old man now.
I'm the last one on my team to turn 21.
Last one, but your team's still relatively young. Like, isn't Sel probably like 21? Tyler's like 21, 22.
So I think Tyler. I don't know if he's a year older than me or 2 years. I think he's 22. MC's like gonna be the same age as me. Because he's like 2.5 months older than me.
Okay.
Alex, the oldest of the group, he's an old fart.
Hey, I'm old fart too, man. It happens.
It's okay to be an old fart though, as long as you're a good smelling fart.
Yeah, I smell good from time to time.
But yeah, we're all relatively young still, so we still got some time.
Yeah. But well, yeah, once you start hitting 24, 25, dude, the aim assist it goes out the window, man. So you got to hope for land. Nah, just playing.
Is the aim assist or is the thumbs?
I don't know. Honestly, I think Call of Duty is like it's just a mental thing though. Like when you get older,
it is.
I think it's just more like responsibilities, because most people don't retire just because they suck now. I feel like more people just retire because they're focused on their scrims every day. Then you have to focus on your house, your girlfriend or your wife, your kids, your dogs. Like it's a lot. So it's hard to really. I feel like
in the office right now, like if I don't scrim, I'm literally bored all day.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what am I supposed to do between like 1 o'clock and like 7 now?
Yeah, it's
just a huge like time gap where I don't know what to do.
No, that's what I feel like in the off season too. I'm just like, wait, so what do I do? My life just doesn't have purpose for like 3 months. I'm just like, what do I do every day? Like, what do normal people do? Because I just sit on my couch or walk around outside. I'm just like, I need scrims or tournaments or something to look forward to.
No, facts.
But I think that's it for me. So I want to say thank you for joining the show. I think if you're down, the chat would love to ask some questions. Chat, we got Simp here. His time is very valuable. If you guys have any questions, if you're looking at the chat right now, you can go ahead and just answer whatever ones you see. Or if I see some good ones, I can just ask you. So just go ahead, chat, keep it respectful, and ask him some good questions because his time is very valuable. So we don't got him for very much longer. That was a good show, man. That was a good show. I had a good time.
I had fun.
Oh, you did a great job. Oh, that's a good question. From Polo, do you still connect with any of the players from NJ Rod?
I mean, I could even do them even bigger. Like, there's people I competed with when I was coming up that I still follow to this day.
Yeah.
And most people that I went to locals with, I don't talk to them daily, but I definitely still follow them because those guys know they can reach out whenever they want for anything. Most of the local guys are a big reason I'm here because of how welcoming they were to me. Because I went to the local scene literally being some little short white kid who no one really knew. And they kind of just took him into their wing. And I feel like a lot of them honestly taught me a lot about COD. So
yeah,
those guys know I appreciate them a lot.
Shout out to the local ones, man. It's actually crazy to think about like the come up whenever you hit it and just like all the people that helped you every single step of the way.
I think about it here and there. That shit's crazy because like you never know like how things would have gone if you didn't meet this person or like didn't do this one thing or
like if you didn't get the opportunity to team with that good team at a local, maybe you just decided you didn't like playing anymore. You stopped playing and none of this ever existed.
Yeah, you never know.
So it's always just crazy to look back on and then appreciate like the people that helped you out all like just get where you are today. Someone asked, asked Simp if teaming with MC Celium exceeded his expectations. What do you think? What do you think of Cell?
Well, what does exceeding my expectations even mean? Like,
I don't know. Out of game, in game.
MC has literally changed from MW to now. MC is a whole different person. And no one knows him like we do. And I know he's probably watching. He's always watching everything.
Yeah, he's always peeping.
MC, you're a fucking clown.
Nah, I remember him being at the PLQ, literally not traveling anywhere before that. He was asking us to open his water bottles for him.
Crowder talks about this.
And just some crazy stuff.
Crowd's like, open your water bottle. What do you mean? Twist it.
But now he's literally going in game chat and just saying some insane stuff all the time. he's just growing up.
MC's a little adult right now, but he's matured a lot in the last year and a half, 2 years. So
hey, you love to hear that.
For what, like the steps he's took to mature.
Yeah. What's your favorite tournament match you've ever played? Like, what match you look back on and you're just like, wow, that was crazy, or wow, we just dominated them. That was so much fun.
I think both of the options are probably from BO4, and it was either the units match where I literally just
choke slammed
and just choke slammed them, or it was the EG match because of how fire it was. Because like I said, you helped me remember that shit.
Yeah.
And that shit was a match for sure.
It was a match for sure. It was a match.
That's tough. That's tough.
It was a good one. But, you know, I wanted you guys to just have a good run at Champs and get your first ring. So it was all part of the plan.
I appreciate that.
And then eventually a couple years later, I would have you on the podcast. So it was all, you know, you gotta take some L's to get some W's, you know?
Facts.
Do you have any pre-match rituals?
Not really. I mean, I get a lot of anxiety before matches, so I kind of just try and focus on my breathing a lot and just trying to make sure I'm calm, listen to music, and just make sure I'm just like prepared for the match. Because I feel like, especially more so now than I used to, I definitely get like a deep anxiety feeling like before matches and stuff. And like it's weird because like I'll do it like before we even like get on stage, but as soon as I get on stage, it's like gone. It's like it's just like nervousness.
Yeah, everyone gets those like little butterflies, and you just want to like that. You just want to play. You just want to be in the match already. So like the lead up to it, it's just like annoying and stressful and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, one more. We got one more. Let's see. Let's find a good one right here. What was your favorite? Do you have any like favorite pros you watched before, or teams that you had watched before you started competing?
I mean, I honestly don't really remember, but I feel like I didn't really watch like individual pros really. I feel like if there's anyone I did watch, it would have been Optic, because Optic was just the main ones putting stuff out at the time. But I just remember like just watching Ghosts and just thinking like, damn, like this shit is like lit. Like I want to start getting into this.
Yeah, just seeing on the main stage, people talking shit, winning events, and all the craziness. Yeah, that's definitely what captured me when I saw people could like be in real life, in person, and like win money and be on a main stage.
They're literally like different people. It's just like it was just weird.
Yeah, and now you're one of them. Now kids are looking.
It's weird, but fire.
Yeah, now kids are looking up to you and be like, I want to be like Simp one day. This guy wins everything, and so. Then
it's crazy.
You're gonna be
feeling for sure.
You're gonna be the old veteran in the Call of Duty scene. You're like, well, I remember when I was 18 years old.
Dude, facts. That's gonna be a weird ass time.
It's crazy. You never get used to it. But I think that's it from the chat. I just want to say thank you very much for coming on the show. I had a great time. Hopefully you had a good time as well.
Thanks for having me. No, this was fun for sure.
And definitely one of my favorite episodes for sure. Just getting to know you a little bit better, seeing your come up, and then your dominance in the Call of Duty scene. It's been crazy to watch, and I think you're still pretty good. So I think you're gonna have a couple more successful years ahead of you.
I hope so. I hope it doesn't get cut off too early.
Hey, hope not.
Everyone's just starting to hate me right now.
No,
so if I start getting shit on now, then it's just gonna be like fuck.
Yeah, no,
everyone
I think
has a reason to roast me.
I think when you just win so much, people just want to see you lose. It happens in every sport with everyone. Like,
I mean, listen, if my team got constantly slammed by the same little short dude, I would be pissed too. So I definitely understand it. But I mean, hopefully no one's got anything personal towards me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just a little ass troll.
Yeah, it's fun to be. It's fun to like make it a little bit intense, get people talking about you, talk a little bit of trash. It's what Call of Duty is built off of. Yeah. Everyone just like talking a little bit of shit and having some fun competing at these tournaments. But thank you very much for coming on. Hope you have a great night. Hopefully the snowstorm doesn't. Of course. You always got a home here. But hopefully the snowstorm doesn't affect you or power go out or anything like that. Take care, okay? And hopefully the new house just stays intact. There's no issues or anything with that.